They saw her standing in the dockyard, grease smudged across her cheek, her hands no bigger than a child's, and they laughed. One sailor muttered that she couldn't even lift a wrench. Another bet she'd drop it before tightening a single bolt. But the warship behind them, the pride of the fleet, was crippled, its engines silent, its fate hanging by a thread. Every expert had tried and failed. Time was slipping away. She didn't answer their jokes. She didn't even look up. Her eyes stayed locked on the towering steel giant before her, as if she could see every hidden flaw, every whisper of the problem no one else could hear. Somewhere deep inside, she knew, if she failed, the Navy would lose more than just a ship. Her name was Eliza. Long before she set foot here, she had been the quiet shadow in her father's garage. While other girls played with dolls, she played with carburetors. She remembered the smell of oil clinging to her clothes, the warmth of her father's calloused hand guiding hers over a stubborn engine part. But that was before the fire, before she lost him. The Navy became her way of holding on, her chance to keep fixing the world, one broken machine at a time. Yet even here, her small frame and delicate fingers became the butt of every joke. She wasn't built like the other mechanics. She wasn't loud. She didn't boast. She simply worked, until the day came when the ship that guarded their coast went silent, and no one could bring it back. The higher-ups were desperate. They had days, maybe hours, before the ship had to sail. Dozens of hands had turned every bolt, rewired every line. Nothing. The captain's voice was tight when he told the gathered crew that without a miracle, their mission was over. And in that silence, Eliza stepped forward. The laughter came instantly, like a wave crashing against her calm. But she didn't blink. She only reached for her small leather tool pouch, a pouch so worn the stitching was frayed, and walked toward the gaping engine room. Her steps were steady, her breathing even. Every eye followed her, some mocking, others almost pitying. Inside the engine room, it was chaos, tangled wires, burnt connectors, the sharp scent of overheated metal. She let her fingers hover over each part, not rushing, just feeling. Hands, like hers, one sailor whispered, aren't for heavy work. But they didn't see what she saw. The narrow spaces no broad hands could reach, the hairline crack no tired eyes had spotted. With quiet precision, she dismantled a section no one else had dared to touch. Her hands slipped into spaces the others couldn't reach. She felt the faintest shift, the smallest piece, wedged wrong since the day it was installed. It was nothing big, and yet, everything. Hours later, when the captain turned the key, the ship's engine roared back to life. It was not a cautious sputter, it was a deep, thunderous heartbeat, shaking the dock beneath their feet. The crew stood frozen, staring at the girl they had laughed at only hours before. Eliza stepped back into the sunlight, wiping her hands on a rag. The same sailors who had mocked her now looked away, ashamed. The captain approached, his voice low but firm. Never underestimate quiet hands. They can hold more power than the loudest voice. One old mechanic, gruff and seasoned, said it louder so all could hear. Small hands. Big victory. From that day, no one in that dockyard forgot the moment a girl's calm skill saved a Navy ship. They didn't remember her for her size. They remembered her for the way she faced the storm without raising her voice. Because sometimes, silence is the loudest answer. If this story moved you, take a moment to honor every quiet hero you've met. Comment where you're watching from. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe for more stories that prove respect is earned, not given.